Six Nations of the Grand River is the largest First Nations territory in Canada by population and the second largest reserve by size. Located between Hamilton, Brantford, and Simcoe, Ontario, Six Nations is the only place in North America where all six Haudenosaunee nations live together. Currently, Six Nations spans over 46,500 acres. This represents approximately 5% of the original 950,000 acres of land granted to the Six Nations by the Haldimand Treaty of 1784. This treaty was awarded to the Haudenosaunee people for their alliance with the British Crown during the American Revolution. This original treaty granted the Six Nations 6 miles on either side of the Grand River from mouth to source. This relationship is also commemorated by the construction of Her Majesty's Royal Chapel of the Mohawks in 1785. Since 1924, Six Nations' federally recognized band is Six Nations Elected Council. Six Nations of the Grand River Development Corporation, or SNGRDC, was launched in May 2015 with the mandate to pursue economic self-sufficiency for the people of Six Nations. Now let's look at how and why SNGRDC was established. In 2009, the Economic Development Department, a branch of Six Nations Elected Council, suggested the creation of a community-owned development corporation in response to the growing number of development projects happening in and around the Six Nations territory. With the evident need to separate business from politics, in 2010, Six Nations Council signaled their willingness to enter into a new understanding of success in the world of economic development. This included the acknowledgement and the necessity for direct community participation in economic development and the potential establishment of a development corporation. The Economic Development Department of the Six Nations Elected Council was given the authority to operate an arm's-length community engagement project known as We Gather Our Voices. This study was comprised of 19 think tank sessions and numerous community engagements. From this report, Six Nations of the Grand River Development Corporation's governance and community benefit structure were designed. 5 primary reasons to separate from Six Nations Elected Council and incorporate under Six Nations of the Grand River Development Corporation emerged. 1. Separate business from politics and implement newly designed governance structure to manage business activities. 2. Separate economic development revenues from own source revenue calculation to prevent reduction in federal funding. 3. Create and protect tax immunity for both on and off reserve business ventures. 4. Enable pursuit of economic opportunities beyond the borders of Six Nations. 5. Organize business assets to reduce risk and ensure individual business interests do not negatively impact on one another. After years of continued analysis, research, and planning, Six Nations of the Grand River Development Corporation was launched in May 2015. This entire process would span over 5 years and require over 30 council resolutions. As of May 2017, SNGRDC participates in 14 renewable energy projects capable of producing 892 megawatts of renewable energy, has facilitated $1.48 million in post-secondary scholarships from renewable energy partners, has generated over $5 million for community investment by the Economic Development Trust. This trust is fueled by surplus profits generated by the SNGRDC, and currently employs over 100 people with 85% Aboriginal workforce. For more information, visit www.sndevcorp.ca.